And welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have finally finished a book that I feel like I've been reading forever. Forever. I just started this book last Thursday, but I feel like I've been reading this forever. Like this, I don't know if it's like the week was really long or this book was really long or what. It's 590 pages, so it's not awful. But it was just like, all right, like, why is this feeling like it's taking forever? And that is the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I'm not hoping this right. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. Um, so I decided to rate this book 4 stars on Goodreads. If you are interested in looking at my Goodreads, by the way, it's just Girly Girl Bookworm, so it's not too hard to find. But this book I gave it a 4 because the mystery in this book is fabulous. The mystery in this book is absolutely fabulous. What docked it the star is the fact that there was times where all they talked about was like this business guy and stocks, and I had no idea what they were talking about. So it kind of docked it a point because it's about this man, Michael Blomkvist. Clearly, I'm not from Sweden, so I don't know how to pronounce any of these people's names. And I've never seen the movie, so I'm completely out of the loop here. But it's about Michael Blomkvist, and he has just gotten a sentence for something called Legal or something. I guess he wrote a story about. He's a journalist, and he published a story, but apparently had no backing to it. Like there was no proof, or what he had as proof kind of fell through. So it was kind of like he lied, and so he's kind of like not allowed to write anymore. Like he has his own company kind of like fire him, and he gets this call from this man, um, who believes that his not granddaughter, his great niece, I think she is. It's his brother's daughter's daughter. So I think it's his great niece. She was killed, and he feels like this killer is like taunting him. So he wants to hire Blomkvist to solve this like mystery. And in the end, if he does, he gets like all this money, and he's going to tell him um something that will help him kind of like retaliate against this guy who's basically making his magazine go down the tubes. The guy that he had like written this article about that he had no backing to. Um, and along the way, you're also seeing like a side story of Lisbeth Salander, and she is like this PI. She's a ward of Sweden, because people believe that she's just not like a socialized person. I think there's more to her story that we just haven't found out in this book yet because this is a trilogy. And she is hired to look into Bloomfist. Michael. I'm just going to call him Michael because at least I can pronounce that. She's hired to look into Michael before they decide to like hire him to do this job. And eventually she comes in, and because Michael needs help, so he's like, I need somebody to help me. And the guy kind of slips up saying like, oh, well, I had this really great person look into you. Maybe she could help you. So she comes along, and there's kind of like an interest there, and they kind of help each other out. And oh my God, when you find out the answer to this mystery, it's like, I didn't see it coming. Like the whole time I was kind of guessing. I was like, maybe this happened to her. Maybe this guy did it. Maybe this. And what happened completely shocked me. I was completely surprised. And yeah, that's really, I don't want to give away too much because that would be a problem. Oh, and I'm telling you about this mystery like it just happened. This mystery actually happened like 40 years prior. So he's trying to figure this thing that happened like 40 years ago out, which is like tricky. But I do like this book. I mean, for it being translated from Sweden, like Swedish, they didn't do that awful of a job. Every now and then I was like, what is that word? Like, they didn't translate it right. Or, like, it would be, like, typo, like, had, when it didn't need to be had, and stuff. But, overall, I did like this book. It took about 50 pages for me to actually get into it. Like, I was so nervous. I was watching a booktuber review this, and she was like, oh my god, it took me like 200 pages to get into it. She also had the mass paperback version, so her pages were tiny, so maybe it did take her like 200 pages to get into it, but it took me only 50, so that made me a lot happier. And even though, like, I'm telling you, like, this book took a lot for me to, like, get into it in the sense that, like, it felt like it was dragging on forever and ever, I really did enjoy the story. I do plan on picking up eventually if I ever find it in this place where I bought this place. If you watched my video, you know where I got it. But, I'm looking out for the girl on fire. Why am I calling her that? The girl who played with fire. I'm, like, getting her confused with Hunger Games now. The girl who played with fire and the girl who kicked the hornet's nest. Which it kind of all goes back to Salander because she has a dragon tattoo. I don't know the fire aspect. I can't remember what that has anything to do with it. And they call her Wasp sometimes, so I think she's the girl that kicks the hornet's nest. But they kind of hint towards it, but they don't at the same time. I don't even understand why they call this girl with the dragon tattoo, because I feel like this follows Michael so much more than it follows her. Like, you see her life, but, like, I feel like I didn't relate to either one of them, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I grew an attachment more to Michael and seeing how he was living rather than Lisbeth. That could just be me. Maybe other people see more Elizabeth than him. But, like, even when you watch, like, the trailers, like, yeah, they focus on her, but I feel like it's all about his, like, fight for, like, himself and his company and his solving this mystery, which he feels is, like, a lost cause anyways. But, so I don't understand why it's all, like, focused on her. But other than that, I really enjoyed this book. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Well, I already did give it 4 stars. But I hope you guys pick it up because I think you would like it too. It's very interesting, and the mystery is just, it'll blow your mind when you find out, like, what happened. And that's it for me today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.